Hi, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Justin Leopard with Consordini.com, here with another cello lesson for you guys. And today is another sort of abstract lesson. I want to talk about learning cello later in life and some of the differences between that and learning cello as a kid, some of the different obstacles you might face, kind of the typical obstacles you might face, and also truly a path that you can take to actually learn the instrument later in life. So first, is learning cello later in life harder than learning it as a kid? In some ways, yes, but you have to remember too that you're a lot smarter than a kid if you are learning later in life. You have, maybe 50 years of additional accumulated experience learning things, experience problem solving, time management, things that can be very, very challenging for a kid. So while it might be easier in some ways to be just young and to just generally have a love for something and do it, or maybe to be in a situation where they're kind of forced to do it, but nonetheless, they still do it. Whereas if you're an adult, no one's going to force you to learn the instrument. In some of those ways, children, they just have more time to work on it. They have less pressure to work on it. They already aren't sure if they like it. It's just an activity. So in that way, it can be kind of easier to go through the experience as a child, especially with a parent that really wants it to happen. But the flip side of that is the actual experience of learning the instrument as a youngster can also be more challenging because you just don't even, sometimes you don't even know what music you like yet. And then you're supposed to be learning music on this instrument. So I just want you to come into this feeling like whatever age you are, there's certain advantages that you have that will help you overcome whatever challenges you perceive to be having. And anybody can really learn these instruments. It really does come down to the hours spent in it and who you got to work with, the information that you had. So with those two things in mind, the biggest obstacle I find when I've had older students, and this is caricatured really well in a two-set violin episode, is basically you want to learn the instrument, you've always loved the instrument, you think to yourself, man, if only I'd stuck with the instrument. So you're going to get back into it because you love the sound of beautifully played cello. You start practicing, and it's just hard. It's just really hard. People spend hours a day for their whole lives, and then they can't even become professionals because it's that competitive among the people who spend hours a day practicing their whole lives. So it can be pretty disheartening. It can feel like work. And I think that's the main thing that can be discouraging, is that you just wanted to do it because you loved it. You wanted it to be like a painting class where you could throw paint up on the wall and it didn't matter. And the truth is that it just is a little bit of work to learn these instruments. And if you are willing to put in that work, if you're willing to use the time management skills of adulthood to just dedicate, say, even an hour, but hopefully 2 or a little more hours of your day to it, just let it take 10 years and you too will have mastered at least some elements of playing this instrument. So if you're coming into it with that perspective where you're just going to dedicate to it because you don't want to have lived life without having gotten good at it, that is basically the way to do it. Just dedicate the time every day and accept that you're endeavoring in work that will pay off later the more you get into it. It starts to become fun after you've spent some time on the basic fundamentals. If you're learning cello later in life, you just go to any other cello teacher. They will know how to teach you just like anybody else because, again, it's not that different. You'll be lucky enough to already be starting on a full-size instrument as opposed to having to use a smaller instrument. And I think the advantage in this is that the full-size instruments are just a little bit better made. They're made to be played by people who are a little bit more serious about it. And just have fun. The most fun that I can have with cello, the reason why I feel like it's been a little easier for me to practice at times than others is because it feels good to be feeling the vibrations of the strings and just feeling it in the room around you. And if you can enjoy that over whether what you're playing is the most pristine version of the repertoire you're working on you've ever heard, then you will be able to continue making progress and really achieve your dreams. So I wish you the best of luck with learning cello at whatever age you are, young or old. It's certainly a fantastic instrument. We here on this channel are here to support you in your endeavor. We thank you for watching this video and hope you'll be with us for other cello lessons. Once again, I'm Justin Leopard, and you can check out my playing at Justin Leopard Cello. This has been a production with Consordini.com. Thanks for watching. you.